Dude, that's a tank.
Yeah, it's not a bad fish.
That's a great fish.
I don't know if they can see the little one. Certainly can see the big one.
Risk, reward, and the silly concept of trophy. These are the themes I wrestle with on the eve of this adventure.
Wow. That's incredible.
The whispers of Trophy Golden Trout swimming somewhere in the Wind River Range fill the daydreams of fishy folk the world over. Shrouded by secrecy and protected by peaks, this is a destination that will capture any angler's attention but demand your utmost respect. Biting bugs will beat you senseless, and finding oxygen is a labored task. Found only where the heavens touch the clouds, the only direction you can go is up. And I mean this when I say your threshold for suffering will be your only barrier to entry. And understandably so, you may find yourself wondering, is this pilgrimage really worth it?
Yeah, we about died yesterday. It was one of those things that was like, okay, we got to camp, sat down, we're like, is this worth it? Is it really worth it? And I think this answers the question.
Folks, this is gonna be 5 days deep in the Wyoming backcountry hunting for the biggest golden trout in the world.
Good morning. The struggle to get out is it's real right now. It's too warm and comfy.
It's very cold outside.
But we gotta go, man. Come on.
We gotta go catch fish.
Getting up was slow. Very, very slow. This was by far one of our colder starts here in the winds, and we were very much sleepwalking through our morning chores. That is, until we heard the strange hum of engines that snapped our attention to the tree line.
Hey, you hear that? That's a helicopter somewhere.
What is it? Is it a fire thing?
What I'd be more worried about is fires we can't see.
While our friendly chipmunk neighbor was at it again, shuffling through camp looking for some scraps, we exchanged uneasy explanations. We were both a bit spooked by the helicopter sighting, especially this far out, and with it being so far away, it was kind of hard to tell what cargo it was carrying. Was it just stocked fish, or was it water or sand for a potential fire? And with no sign of smoke or fire in the area, we had no reason to believe that there was an active burn heading our direction, but still, it's not something you want to risk. And with a bit of apprehension, we still stuck to the original game plan and decided to trudge back up the trail.
Something tells me you're right. Get too warm. So right about now, I'm starting to feel my hamstring. Where it's like, ooh, ow. That's where it's just starting. Well, it's like 10 minutes of stretching gives me an hour of hiking. Wow. That's incredible. Looks like we got it all to ourselves. That's a big boy. No, I literally think that's your fish from yesterday right there.
It was a relief to know that the fish were still very active here at this first lake. Both quality and quantity were just a stone's throw away off the bank. We just needed to find that right fly to make them bite.
God, dude, that's a tank.
Yeah, it's not a bad fish.
It's a great fish.
I don't know if they can see the little one. They certainly can see the big one.
So I fumbled to get the second rod rigged up. Kowalski, he wasted no time. Just a little ways down the bank, he strip set into the first golden of the day, and we could rest easy knowing the skunk was officially off.
You on?
All right, first one of the morning. We got a nice little golden.
Gorgeous. They
yeah.
seem back?
Let's let him go.
Okay.
These things are just so gorgeous up here.
This might yield better results.
So.
There we go.
Fish on. Oh, that. Oh, look at the color on him.
Yep. That's my first golden of the day. Nice to get up here early, even though we took the wrong trail at first. That's a beauty. Wow.
Let's let him back.
Yep.
My first fish swam back, and we were both a bit puzzled by the trend we were noticing. Both of our fish were more inclined to eat our flies directly off the bottom of the lake.
Oh my gosh, he almost just picked it up off the bottom.
Yeah, that's what he did with mine. He picked mine off the bottom.
Oh, this one almost did too. Wow, that's crazy. Maybe they're used to picking stuff off the bottom.
The only thing is I don't know what they're eating off the bottom.
Yeah, all sorts of bugs and stuff.
Keeping that weird tendency in mind, it didn't take long after, but off camera, I managed to hook up with yet another phenomenal golden.
Oh damn, that's a good fish.
That tank.
It's a big old fish right there. Not a bad way to start the morning. Going for gold. I think we got it. Ready to see him back?
Yeah.
Well, there we go, man.
Hell yeah, brother.
At this point in the morning, we had well exhausted the outlet stream, and it was time to look for greener pastures. Making our way around the spook schools of golden trout, we found a rather productive point with a fair amount of fish activity. Like the day before, we decided to split up and try the old spot and stalk technique. From way up high, Kowalski had an amazing vantage point and could see a fair number of fish cruising by. Again, he did an amazing job of directing my cast, but for whatever reason, they had no interest in what we were throwing.
Seems to be where a majority of them are. Right where it turns dark blue. Oh, he's looking at it. Oh, he turned around.
I'm sure it goes without saying because my tone is quite negative, but this started to get quite frustrating after a while. With this many schooling fish, hooking up after that many casts, it kind of felt like a fluke.
It's a nice little fish.
Not bad. See ya.
And as if they were taunting us, the fish continued to buzz by our position and continued to ignore our measly offerings. As disappointing as this may be, that's just a part of this kind of fishing. So instead of throwing our rods into the water and cursing the sky, we doubled back to our original outlet spot and gave it a few more honest casts.
Just out of curiosity, I'd like to try like a black streamer and then a red streamer.
The morning bite must have fully burned off by now because Kowalski cast it into the wind with not so much as a look. It certainly sucks to pull the plug this early, but we were both ready for plan B.
Oh.
Oh, he took it too.
I think he took it.
No, he broke it off.
Yeah, he took it.
Damn. I yanked it so hard that I broke his face.
Yeah, I broke it right off. Well, we can see a ton of fish down there. They're all stacked up, but the morning bite has it's died down, I would say.
Yeah, we got a lot of looks at the beginning and a few catches, and now we're not getting any looks at all.
Yeah, so instead of getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, I think we're gonna go to a plan B for Brookie. We're just gonna go whoop up on some brooks, head back to camp for a bit, and then make our way over. So thank you Mr. Golden Trout. This was epic.
We both didn't realize it at the time, but we were leaving the Golden Trout lakes for good. So I think at this point it might be worth mentioning how we even found these lakes in the first place. And I'd mentioned this a little bit earlier on in a Golden Trout history breakdown, but this species of trout is coveted by those who chase them, especially us dirty fly anglers. And I found that there's not a whole lot of tight lines around this subject. It happens to be a bunch of crusty old tight lips. And to any of you purists out there, keep in mind that as majestic as the Goldens may be, they are a recreational resource at the end of the day. So keep blowing out those pictures and tagging "Keep the West Wild, bro." I swear, the virtue around fishing, it can put me in an absolute tailspin sometimes, but I'm gonna do my best to keep my feelings out of this. To remain as objective as possible, golden trout are here in Wyoming because there is a clear demand from the public to fish for them. Because of this, state agencies like Wyoming Game and Fish want you to know about the resource they provide for you. After all, your tax dollars are the ones making this whole dog and pony show go. For this trip, I found that it was extremely easy to find a handful of lake chains just off some major trailheads here in the Wind River Range. I'm not kidding when I say, after a few lazy keystrokes on the old Google machine, I had a solid set of options. And if Google somehow fails you, which it shouldn't, searching keywords directly on the Wyoming Game and Fish website is extremely beneficial as well. Once you find some names of lakes or drainages, you can further narrow down your possibilities by searching the stocking data over the past 9 years or so, because remember, the overwhelming majority of these fish are stocked, and an old golden trout will be around 9 or 10 years old. Now I know what you're thinking. You say, "Hey Mike, can books help?" And I mean, sure. Well Mike, what about articles? Again, yeah, great. Some articles can be very helpful, but keep in mind that date and time is very important. Fires and fish kills constantly ruin fisheries, and stocking schedules can shift. If worse comes to worse, you can always call the local game agent or fisheries biologist, and they can try their best to help you. After all, that is kind of their job. But to any and all watching, trust me when I say, waiting for some crusty old timer or stuck-up purist to tell you their secret spot, it's not worth it. Do some surface level research, toss some dots on the map, and start rucking months in advance. Because at the end of the day, information, that is not your barrier to entry when it comes to catching golden trout here in the Wind River Range. It is your physical shape and really your tolerance for suffering. I could spin you a long yarn about the month of training we both did in order to properly prepare for something of this magnitude. Now, I certainly don't want to be preaching, so I'm going to jump off my soapbox. And in order to remain fully transparent, I've linked all the information I used to prep and plan for this adventure in the description below. So go check it out once this video's over. Websites, articles, and all. But that's enough on logistics. Let's get back to the story.
Like noon?
Outweigh is like 3.
Give them the latest, okay, 3.
Just depending, like, I don't, you know, depending how your leg holds up,
Yeah.
how toasted we are, you know, the pace might be slower.
Yeah.
10 feet and just kind of keep going, keep going, keep going.
I have to be honest, it's a tad melancholy thinking that this would be our last time seeing this lake. Our time here was well over the halfway mark, but I did my best to push that thought out of my mind for the time being. The day was still long, and from the looks of the clouds overhead, we were in for an eventful evening.
Clouds are looking a little suspicious.
Making our way back to camp, Kowalski and I both agreed that that was the last thing we wanted to see looming over the mountains.
We made it back to camp. We're gonna restock on a few things, and I'm gonna go fill us up with some water before the next one. Clouds are getting more and more suspicious, but luckily where we're going is not too terribly far from base camp, so if it does start raining, we'll be aight.
We didn't waste any time, and it didn't take long to switch up rigs and hit the trail yet again.
No, never. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Backtracking our way to the Brook Trout Lake was pretty much a breeze at this point because we both knew there was a series of well-maintained game paths that ran right up to the lakeshore itself.
Hadn't even
Don't worry, I have my GoPro on.
All right, so Golden for Gold was officially a success. Fishing kind of slowed down there, so we moved over to our little Brook Lake. So Mike's already got one, had another bite. So we're gonna see how many we can catch today, because we got like the whole rest of the day to go. Maybe we'll hit 100. I don't know. We'll see.
100 fish in a day might seem like a stretch, but if there was anywhere you're gonna get the job done, it is an isolated brook trout lake here in the Wind River Range. And let me tell you, I got off to a rather hot start.
And that's 4.
Chunky boy.
Chonky monkey?
Yeah, he's a chunky monkey.
Well, there's 5. That's my bad on the camera work there.
There's number 5. Chunky little brookie. Making us walk. Making us exert energy.
He's a floppy boy.
Yeah, he's flopping good.
Look at him. Look at him flop. It's a good looking fish.
Yeah, it's a nice fish.
The first 7 fish came with relative ease, and even when we thought the lake had calmed down a bit and it was time to move, we just needed to cast in the opposite direction, and there was usually a brook trout hiding there.
Oh, he's so pretty.
It wasn't too soon after we moved down the bank, I bagged number 9 and then eventually number 10. This pace was starting to get toxic.
Well, it's a long fought journey. After much hard work and determination,
Got number 10.
we finally got number 10. That's a great shot.
He's cute. His little red fins are nice. Number 10. Thank you. All right. Your turn.
All right, we're gonna switch around now. I'm gonna try to catch 10. Oh, yep, I got a fish on. He's a decent little boy.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Great fish. Number 1.
All right, oops, there he goes.
You go. Nice.
The baton was passed and Kowalski wasted no time.
Hey.
Heyo.
Clearly, these fish didn't remember us from yesterday, and they didn't care at all what flies we were using. I'm not kidding when I say I probably had 2x tippet on both of the rods we were using, and they were still crushing almost every cast. 4 more fish were quickly added to our total, but menacing clouds gave our fishing fervor a bit of pause.
That just kind of popped up on us, didn't it? Well, this backpack's waterproof to an extent.
No, it's not like it took us very long to get up here.
I know, but feel the way the wind's blowing?
Yeah.
They shouldn't be going towards us.
Well, come over here and look up at it.
Hey, dude, that looks terrible.
Yeah, I'm on number 5, by the way.
I think our challenge might get cut short, buddy.
These clouds do not look very nice. We're gonna kind of play it by ear, but it might be coming right at us. So this brookie challenge might be short-lived.
We moved down the shore and were able to find a few more, but these pan-sized brookies, they were not going to be enough to make us risk this nasty storm.
Nice.
Nice little brookie. What is that, number 6, 7?
Yep.
So, good bud. Bye, friend.
Starting to get a little bit of rain. Little bit.
Yeah, I think we're pushing our luck here, buddy.
Yeah. That looks really dark over there.
Yeah, we're pushing our luck. Well, the mountains tend to be unpredictable, but that up there is, there's no question. That is a big rainstorm. It's a swell coming through. We can't quite tell how long it's going to be here or to what severity.
Yeah, but I mean, it's pretty dark and it's not really something we want to play with out here.
No, and we're already getting spit on. So we can always come back. This is close enough. So let's rally this and get back to camp.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't care. Remember, it's going to be to the right. Yeah. Here, this works right here. Right here. Oh, dude. Oh, we're about to get pummeled. Holy sh!
Oh, that's bad.
All right, there's our clearing. We're almost there. Looks like this got rain here.
It did. Well, we made it back to camp. Looks like camp got a little wet. That really scary part of the storm we were worried about has kind of passed. It's still kind of scattery around us, so we're gonna wait.
Yeah.
See what it does. And then yeah, once we have an hour or two.
Better confirmation, yeah.
Yeah, once we have an hour or two of sunshine, then we'll head back to the lake. It's not that far. So yeah, better safe than sorry, because
These mountain storms are unpredictable.
yeah, and that nasty part that just missed us, it was pretty heavy wind.
Yeah.
or pretty heavy rain.
Yeah, well, wind too, probably.
Heavy wind, heavy rain, really thundery. You could see it on the other side of the mountains too, all the rain coming down. So we didn't want to be in that mess there.
Nope.
So yeah, we'll give it a little bit and then head back out.
You can at least eat lunch.
Yeah.
Hiking in with this stuff behind us. Dude, what a confidence killer that would be. You're like, oh my gosh.
Anyone that's hiking into this today?
Yeah, that's trouble. All right. Cheers to the 100th Cliff Bar.
Okay, it's been about 20 minutes. It's pretty dark all around us. It's starting to open up a little bit back there, but there's still one more cell you can kind of see cresting over the mountain. It is a good thing we came down because we can actually see the valley of the lake we were in, and it got hammered. Good thing we moved off.
Yeah.
And now it's just kind of a waiting game. We're kind of like right in the middle of a bunch of like pretty dark cells. So just gonna wait a little longer. It's pretty close.
It was like right there. The lightning was insane, dude.
So we can tell that it's raining because we can hear the rain. So it's definitely raining right now.
We're stuck for a bit.
Well, I had to get out to pee, and come to find out, it's raining and hailing. Very cool mountains, very cool. Damn. Yeah, I think we're gonna be held up in the tent for a little while longer. Freaking hailing out.
Something I find folks don't talk nearly enough about on backcountry adventures like this is that boredom can be one of your biggest enemies. When the elements are fighting you hard, talking shit and sleeping is about all you can do to pass the time.
So update, it's been a while.
Couple hours.
It's been like a couple hours. It's still raining. There's not much we can do. It's hailing, it's raining.
They're telling campfire stories.
Telling
just
campfire
without
stories.
the campfire.
Yeah, it sucks.
So while we do that, this would be an ideal time to discuss something Kowalski and I practice almost religiously out here, and that would be bear safety.
Perfect. Okay. Well, my first question would be, what is the bear density, specifically grizzlies? Do you guys have many down in that drainage? One sighting? Gotcha. 10-4. No, that makes sense. Just trying to do my due diligence because I do plan on doing some backcountry backpacking and bear safety and, you know, all that jazz. So, not that black bears are any less scary than grizzlies, it's just grizzlies are actually real monsters walking around in the woods, you know?
Of course, we always do our best to hang up any food or toiletry items far away from camp that could potentially entice a bear in the area. And another thing we like to do is create a small perimeter with paracord and jingle bells. Now, this one might be slightly extra, but it does wonders for peace of mind. And I think the most important thing that we have for bear safety overall is the bear spray itself. And here's a quick demonstration for any and all out there who may be unfamiliar with this tool. Here we have a simulated bear spray can, and this is simply pressurized water that has a similar effect to the real deal. Overall, it is a pretty simple contraption. The two main parts come down to the safety and the trigger. Once you remove the safety, the trigger will become loose and ready to discharge. Now I gotta say, you have to press down fairly hard on the trigger, but once you do, there will be a slight kick. It's nothing too substantial, but hopefully this allows you to see the overall distance and spread of what you're working with here. On this particular trip, we didn't have any bad interactions with bears, but it certainly doesn't mean they can't happen. And since I've personally been attacked and had to use bear spray before, I know that it works and I put a lot of trust into it. But I'm quite sure I'm preaching to the choir, and that's quite enough on bear safety.
It starts raining on you. Alright, so it's now a little after 4 o'clock. It's getting a little too late to try to go back out fishing, that's for sure. And there's definitely a lot more rain coming. We're just kind of at a little break right now in the rain, so what we're gonna do is get some water, get some food, and get ready for this next session of rain, I guess, because we're not escaping it today.
We buckled down and got right to work boiling and cooking our food rations for the night, and we kind of lucked out because before the jet boiled finished up, the rain was already starting to come down again.
All right, rain's coming back. We're gonna get a little bit of food we made put away and get back in the tent.
Gonna have a little breakfast in bed, yay!
Yeah, we were lucky enough to get like a 5-minute break to actually boil some water so we could make dinner. But
That's all we got.
As soon as we finished boiling, the rain just started coming back down. So it's actually pretty cool. You can see all the way across the valley. You can just see just this big wall of rain coming. So we're gonna get smashed here in a second.
Yep.
So
But at least we have food.
at least we got food, and we're pretty much ready if the rain doesn't want to let up the rest of the night. So well, see you tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah.
Keeping track of time was tough at this point, and after dinner, we laid back down in anticipation of darkness. But by some mountain miracle, the pitter-patter, it just seemed to stop. We knew this might be our only opportunity to make a fire.
Cotton balls dipped in petroleum jelly.
The ultimate fire starter.
The ultimate fire starter. Super lightweight. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
So yet again, in a rush, we gathered up some of the dry wood we'd stashed away from earlier and built a quick fire teepee.
Just gonna let it do its thing.
Once we got the little sticks blazing, we added our big wet logs in the hopes to dry them out and eventually catch fire.
Such a good fire right now. That fire feels nice.
Oh, that's nice.
This gas on dry for real right there. LOL at our attempt to dry out clothes. It just rained more. So I know I said we'd be rolling B-roll, but I gotta stop you for a second and maybe pay homage to the freaking mosquitoes here. Like, it's been raining this whole time. Mosquitoes, still terrible. Even while we were outside in the rain, you know, during those little rain breaks, mosquitoes just everywhere, just destroying us. You know, this is the first time I've worn shorts the entire time here. I'm just getting eviscerated right now. Yeah,
We need the smoke.
the mosquitoes are no joke. They're ridiculous. Someone could just like delete mosquitoes. I'd pay like $5 or something. I don't know. It's like all I got. So, yeah, mosquitoes suck. Don't do them.
So while we both continued to fight the battle against these relentless mosquitoes, we continued on with camp activities while we still had the time. Kowalski went to the creek to fill up some water and say hi to his brook trout friend, while I managed the fire and did my best to stretch out my sore hamstring.
Yeah, stretch that hammy. Stretch it good. 'Cause you have to carry all the shit tomorrow. I mean, we napped pretty much all day, so we can actually chill.
For a while.
Yeah,
It certainly seemed like our night was taking a turn for the better. That is, until my Garmin gave us a disturbing ring.
Well, it's nice being disconnected for, you know, a group of days. I think it's been like 5, but it's nice having a lifeline. And as meat hang is nearing its end, we just got some pretty interesting news. So my folks let me know that there is going to be some unpredictable weather coming in, especially to this valley, kind of what we saw this afternoon. And, you know, we caught a lot of fish this morning. We were kind of getting the ball rolling this afternoon, and then we've been basically dead since. And if we're looking at another day tomorrow just like that, you know, we've come to the Wind River Range for a certain reason, to get golden trout. The bonus brookies, I mean, that was awesome, but we've accomplished really everything that we wanted to, and right now we're weighing out the risk. There's a lot of, I guess, risk with either trying to camp another night in rain or to hike out and avoid it. So yeah, these are nice to have. Again, no free shout out to Garmin, but it's nice having a line, and I think we're gonna do some planning tonight, and we might hike out tomorrow. Well, after quite a bit of deliberation between Kowalski and I think the final verdict is that we are hiking out tomorrow. But that means we have a bunch of food left. This is about 2 days of rations left. This is gonna be all for the hike out. We've got plenty of Cliff Bars, we've got plenty of energy and hydration supplements left over that we're just gonna try and pop to get us that rocket fuel to get us up and off the mountain. But that leaves us with a couple other items. Some extra stuff for tonight. This is all about weight off our backs. We're not gonna eat it tomorrow. We're gonna cook it tonight, get it off. But we do have one last peak meal, and this is our safety line. So if everything goes wrong and we make it halfway off the mountain and we're just zooted, this will be our last night's cook to at least get some energy back in us so we can limp off the mountain Saturday morning. Things are moving quick, things are moving fast, and that's just, I don't know, that's just meat hang. But we got to roll with the punches and take the risk, you know, in the right way, and I think this is the right decision. So yeah, let the packing and planning begin.
So while the fire kept smoldering away, we got to packing up as best as we could. But before we finished up, I made sure to put on one last pot of boiling water for an evening treat.
You know, it might seem a little dumb to be drinking coffee this late, but English Coffee, they sent over a bunch of these, they call them dry droppers, really easily packable coffee. And I mean, to warm your bones on a chilly, wet evening like this, I mean, doesn't get much better than that. And for real, huge shout out to you guys because they sent it over for free. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Coffee and the rest of the rations were enjoyed well into the evening as the fire slowly pittered out. It was really nice to stretch out the legs a bit because we both knew bedtime was approaching fast.
Well, we made it into the tent. This is your last ugly mug nightly update before we descend the mountain and get the heck out of here. So we've got an early morning planned, and yeah, it should be terrible. So we might die.
It's gonna be a long one tomorrow. You're gonna see us complaining a lot in this next montage.
Or just not talking at all. Or both.
Mostly complaining. Mostly complaining.
Yeah, sorry in advance. Good night.
Morning.
We're trying to get packed up.
We both managed to find a bit of shut-eye before the alarm started blaring and the rest of our packing needed to be completed.
Now when I sit down, when I pee sometimes.
Doesn't make me less of a man.
Because I sit down when I pee.
All right, here we are. End of the meat hang here, at least. It's time to get off the mountain, get to hiking, and hopefully not die.
Yeah, we're gonna complain a lot the next couple hours, so just bear with us.
Let's go.
Let's go. We got everything? Did you pack the tent?
Did we bring it that?
Wet and cold, that is how our morning started. The dew, it still clung tight to all the foliage along the trail, and the puddles, they still held very firm from the deluge we received yesterday. It made this hike pretty dang miserable, but the silver lining here is that the landscape around us was glowing in the morning light, which made for quite the scene. And almost like a good omen, we finally saw our first big critter of the trip. This moose, he was soaking up the sun and enjoying a very soggy breakfast, and I must say, I found myself slightly envious of this long-legged ungulate as Kowalski and I approached our first of many creek crossings of the day.
Doing some adjustments to the bag, but honestly, so far, we're vibing. It's not bad yet.
Not bad yet.
No complaints yet.
Incredible. Holy cow. See, I figured in that field is where you'd see the moose.
Kind of sucks. I had my shoes tied at like the perfect tightness.
Sure.
All right, well, we're at a river crossing right here. So, switched up to our sandy boys. Now, it's time to get wet.
I just got squished. Big old thing of mud. Feels good, man.
The sun was up, but the air still held quite the chill, so that, mixed with the cold water, was yet another rude awakening on the day.
Well, that's the uphill. Time to jet fuel up and start the ascent.
This is where we become heroes or zeros.
All right, we've reached a pivotal part in the trip. This is jet fuel time. So we got ourselves another Cliff Bar. We ate breakfast, but we need something in our stomachs because we are about to put 200 milligrams of pure caffeine goodness and another liquid IV because we know the uphill is coming up soon. This is where we napped, close to the creek, but we're gonna be losing major water for the next
Probably 3 hours.
1,000, 2,000 feet of elevation.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a while till we see water
Yeah.
or get another chance to stop. So gonna give ourselves some energy, some hydration,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
be ready to grind.
And it's game time. This is game time.
This is what we've been dreading all week.
All right, let's go.
Do you wanna jet fuel first?
Sure. Ooh, tastes like electricity, baby. Woo!
And so it began. The dreaded uphill battle from a few days prior was now the resistance keeping us from salvation. For these kind of hike outs, I will usually put on some sort of music just as motivation. And it may seem a bit cheesy because we're out here to enjoy the silence of nature, but believe me when I say that music makes a massive difference when it comes to pure performance. The goal, it was to get off this mountain, so we let our favorite band, Dance Gavin Dance, propel us up these ever-growing switchbacks.
Favorite music playing in the background right now? Absolutely crushing this uphill. I mean, we're hurting a little bit, but we just might make it. I don't know. We'll check it in like 10 minutes, see if we're dead or not.
Vibes are good.
But right now, yeah, vibes are good.
We did our best to avoid any and all unnecessary creek crossings, and not only would changing shoes slow us down, but wet feet are just so damn uncomfortable.
That was close, but we did it.
But with every bridge we passed, the stops seemed to get a little more and more familiar. My memory isn't great, but I can recognize certain spots and clearings from our hike a few days prior. I would hate to jump the gun in saying this, but it really seemed like we were getting close.
I still got like 80%.
Okay. When we stop up here, we'll get it.
Editing skills now versus dead.
Oh,
Light years. You know? Light years. Like, not that your editing skills for them were bad, but it's just that's what it takes. When you have no experience, that's just what it takes. Like, they're so much better now. Sir,
That's something else, man. We did it.
I don't know if you guys can see that thing in the background, but this morning we were on the other side of it. So,
Folks, we promised more complaining, but yeah, it ended up not happening.
our pace was absolutely toxic up this mountain. We still got to go all the way back down the other side,
But it's all downhill.
but it's all downhill. The hard part is out of the way.
Now, here's the question. Was our pace more toxic or is our smell more toxic? Because
They're both bad.
we are absolutely rank. 5 days of gooning.
Yeah,
Absolutely gooning, but you can kind of see the clouds accumulating. I think we made the right call.
Yeah, the weather looks pretty sus. You can see some rain clouds in the back, especially over the valley where we were.
Nah.
So I think, you know, making the call to leave, go home now was probably the right move. I mean, we accomplished way more than we ever figured we would, so.
But we're not done yet, and there's no rest for the wicked, so let's keep going.
Yeah, see you at the bottom. Can't do this to us. We just like walk out.
He's gonna love all our DGD references. Yeah, he was talking to me about it.
Cresting the final uphill was a massive boost to our overall morale. We were feeling good and flying down this mountain.
I don't know, we got like 3 miles left. Rain's actually starting to roll in, so.
Bad news bears.
Bad news bears, but we're almost there, man. We can power through.
Yep.
As long as we don't get struck by lightning, tornadoes, or bears, we should make it.
Or tornado bears.
Or tornado bears. We are in Wyoming, so
Who knows?
for you guys that haven't been there, tornado bears are legitimately a thing, and I'm not making that up. I swear. I can see the campsite. We're so close. Be quiet for the tornado bears, though.
You can maybe tell our minds had long been lost at this point, but our bodies were holding up surprisingly well. The literal torture we had just put them through probably wouldn't be felt until days later because another adrenaline boost got pumped through our veins when we saw the clouds looming over the horizon.
Barely missing the storm.
It was very clear that another storm was nipping at our heels, but luckily for us, the parking lot was now well within sight. We had officially made it off the mountain.
All right, moment of truth. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. This is too wild.
Well, timing was pretty good. We made it to the truck. We got changed, cleaned up a little bit, and it's
raining.
It's raining. I don't know if you can see or not. Probably not.
Here.
Yeah, starting to rain. So pretty smart move, I guess, of us bouncing out, because I think, you know, we were seeing it on the mountains all day. That rain moving in, so
We would have been so messed up.
yeah, we would have just wasted a whole day on the mountain had we stayed. So
But now we have an extra day.
have an extra day, so I don't know, we might go fishing, might go get some waffles, we'll see.
I'm
definitely
glad
gonna-
you brought that up.
Definitely gonna go get some waffles. All right, we'll see you.
For those of you out there who have experienced a trip like this, you may understand, and to those unfamiliar, forgive me while I do my best to describe this feeling. Kowalski and I, we both worked so damn hard to make this happen. And, you know, outside of the basic stuff like research and logistics, physically and mentally, we were pushed well beyond our limits. And to think that our round trip ended up pushing past 65 miles in just 5 days, it absolutely blows my mind. And all on slim rations and the risky hope of fish supplementation. And despite the threat of bipolar mountain weather and an unforgivable landscape, we accomplished every single goal we'd set out for this trip. Goals, I might add, that we had both set out months in advance and did everything in our power to manifest. Weekly calls for the better part of 5 months went into packing, planning, and hoping for the success of Meat Hang 2022. So for it all to be over just like that, it seems a bit strange. We both managed to find some truly once-in-a-lifetime fish, all while surrounded by views that many will never get to see with their own eyes. We are so lucky to be able to do this, and even luckier to be able to share our experiences with folks like you. It may seem a bit odd, and again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I'm left a bit melancholy describing this to you right now. And it's not really in a bad way. These kind of trips, they always feel like that wild summer love that burns hot and it burns fast. And again, forgive me if I'm being too romantic, but this kind of trip, it's star-crossed from the beginning, and somehow it slips through your hands like sand. And in the moment, nothing feels more real, but it passes away so quick. I think Kowalski and I can both agree that we wouldn't give this trip up for the world. But realistically, the only way either of us will ever make it back to those incredible lakes is somewhere in our dreams. Folks, thank you so much for sticking around and watching Meat Hang 2022 all the way to the end. We both put an immense amount of work into the planning, the filming, and the editing of this, it's a video, film trip, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, this isn't professional by any means, but we did our best to take you with us and maybe feel some sort of fraction of what we experienced. And again, I would hate to feel like I'm repeating myself, but a trip like this would not be possible without your support. So, to any and all out there, be it through Patreon or just your support through YouTube, all I have to say is thank you. Your support truly means the world, and as silly as it may sound, it allows us to make more stuff like this. Camera gear, backpacking supplies, and gas, it sure can get pricey. So just know that anything made is being reinvested into trips like this to try and make a better product. And to all the presenting sponsors who have taken a chance on us, the sentiment is the same. And just so that you know out there, I trust every single one of these brands wholeheartedly, and I wouldn't promote them otherwise. But that is quite enough. Folks, as always, wherever you find yourself, be it in the wilds of the Wind River Range or in your backyard, make sure to keep those feet in the water. And until next time, tight lines.
Dead.
Good game, sir. This was a good game.
We made it.
We made it.
We made it. It's time for a shower and a nap and a lot of junk food.
And all the junk food.
All the junk food.
All the junk food.
Thanks for tagging along, guys. So Mike will probably narrate some more stuff, but yeah.
This was a fun one.
Peace out for me. See you guys.